Hello YouTube, and welcome to another DBTGamer special. And today's DBTGamer special will be about strategy guides. Now, recently, Premier, or Prima, however you want to pronounce it, announced that they were closing down their company quite soon. Premier is going to be closing their strategy guide making doors. I think it's sometime in January. And before the internet was the beast that it was, one of the places that you could go to get help on a game was a game shop, and you could buy a strategy guide for said game and get the help that you needed if you were struggling with a certain game. And strategy guides have always been a very special part of my life and childhood. And I still buy strategy guides today. Some of these are actually quite new, or ones that I've added to my collection quite recently on my bed here. So I'm just going to go through this video and show off my entire strategy guide collection. A lot of these are premieres, and some of them are Bandai games. And Bandai games, they eventually merged with Premier, so they're technically the same company as of now. So I just want to go down memory lane and look through my entire strategy guide collection and show it off to all my subscribers, because that's what this channel is all about, sharing the games and gamer stuff that I love and my hobbies with you guys. Anyway, let's get into this. Let's see, where should we start? Oh, I know. Let's start with this pile. This is kind of one of my more recent ones. This is the Luigi's Mansion strategy guide, and this is a really nice strategy guide. Just all the maps and just the way it's all nicely set out and just so nicely put together. This is what I mean about Premier or Prima, whatever you want to call them. They're just the quality they used to put guides together, and to be honest, I really will miss them. I mean, I know, today we have game FAQs, and today we have YouTube, and there's people like me on the internet, you know, making let's plays and walkthroughs of video games, and that's mostly how people get help on certain games. But I just think that strategy guides will always be something really special that used to help so many people through games, and yeah, I just really like them. So yeah, that's the Luigi's Mansion one. Here's my Zombie U strategy guide. A fun little story for this. When I bought this strategy guide, it cost me 1 pence. Yeah, I went to a game shop and found it in the bargain bin for 1 pence. I thought, I'll give you a home. You know, for 1p, that's an absolute bargain, and it's a game that I actually quite like for the Wii U. So, paid 1 penny. Also bought an amiibo on that same day. Was the Kirby Waddle Dee amiibo, and got a strategy guide and an amiibo. So yeah. Zombie U, one of my favourite Wii U games, and I was happy to have the strategy guide, and it was so cheap. I even used it in the walkthrough I did a few over half a year ago when I did the Let's Play, which was quite a fun Let's Play, to be honest. Anyway, next strategy guide. Here we are, Bandai games. I have a lot of Resident Evil strategy guides. This is strategy guide for Resident Evil 0, and Resident Evil 0 is one of my favourite Resident Evil games. In an earlier video recently, I cosplayed as Billy Cohen for my Halloween special of Resident Evil Garden this year. I hope you all enjoyed that. It was quite fun to wear a costume and put a review together of a game that is somewhat unknown to the Resident Evil universe. But yeah. Ooh, a tyrant. So gruesome. One thing I like about these strategy guys, sometimes they used to have like extra areas where they used to like seal them. And then when you got to a certain bit in the game, the idea was you'd tear like it open like an envelope, and then you get to see extra bits of the game. Or there'd be like a page saying "Don't open after the game" because of all the secrets and stuff. But yeah, it was so cool. yeah, here we go. And another thing I always like is concept art of like the game and things that didn't quite make it into the game. Just so many secrets and so much good stuff to look at. So nice artwork, yeah. Anyway, next guide. Resident Evil, the remake for the GameCube. This one actually has a sticker on it. Yeah, I could never get the sticker off of this one, so I just left it on. So this was half price when bought with the game at one point. So yeah. Here's a strategy guide from Future Press. Now, a lot of different companies made strategy guide, and this is a rather good one. It was really helpful to find all the treasure in the game, so I could get all the guns I could ever need to take down the last Plagueis monsters. So yeah, just a really helpful guide. It's one of my favourite Resident Evil games. Ooh, the Devil May Cry 2 strategy guide. This is another Bandai Games. Adam gave me this. I was playing the game, I got a little bit stuck, and he gave me so I could finish the game, and he just let me have it. So it's just a really nice guide. And I like Devil May Cry 2. It's one of those games that people don't always like, but I like it. There's Dante looking all badass and just awesome in every way. Ooh, here's kind of a naughty one. This is Bayonetta. It's a hardback special edition strategy guide. When I actually got this, it was in better condition, but well, it sort of fell apart, so I had to repair it with sellotape. But what I do like, it has this little bookmark ribbon sort of thing that looks like Bayonetta's hair, and it is really a helpful guide. It's pretty sturdy, even though I've had to repair it. I also like that it has this little card which helps you with some advice, so you don't have to open the entire guide, but it is really useful. So yeah, Bayonetta, one of my favourite games, and I'm happy to have the strategy guide. I'm just going to go through these very quickly. This is the magazine I used to collect when I was younger. It's called Advanced, and sometimes they used to have strategy guides in the actual magazine. This is technically a strategy guide for Mortal Kombat Advance, Sonic Advance, and Mech Platoon. The only one I wanted was for Sonic Advance, because I used to love Sonic Advance. It's one of my favourite Sonic games. I still do love Sonic Advance. And here's a full strategy guide for Super Mario World. Excuse me. Or Super Mario Advance 2, which was the Game Boy Advance port. This showed me how to get every level unlocked in the entire game. Really helpful guide. So yeah, that's nice. Let's go on to some of these. These are some of the smaller strategy guides that Premier made. These are, I suppose, more portable and a bit more pocket-sized if you put them in your bag and take them up to a friend's house, so you can help them finish the game, or a girlfriend's house, that sort of thing. This was really useful when me and Adam did the Pikmin Let's Play. So, very, very useful and very helpful. And here's my strategy guide for Sonic Heroes. I think I bought this one because it was mostly cheap, and it was just, I wanted to do more things in the game. One of the things that I found out because of this guide was, if you play the game with Team Rose, the Chaos Emerald stages are actually easier. So, yeah, this guide was very helpful. Star Fox Adventures. Dinosaur Planet, one of my favourite Star Fox games. And this is a really nice strategy guide. When I first read it, I thought it was incomplete, but it's one of those strategy guides that you have to read rather carefully in order to so you don't lose track. Yeah, that may sound like a no-brainer, but for a lot of my life, I've struggled with reading quite a bit, and I actually have dyslexia. So sometimes reading can be a real challenge for me. If I'm reading like a really long book, it can be hard for me to stay focused and devoted to it. But most times I read like mangas and simple books, no more than like 400 pages long, so I don't get overwhelmed by long books. But yeah, it's Star Fox Adventure Guide is one I got recently because it was cheap and I just wanted it. I'm also thinking about doing a Let's Play of Star Fox Adventures because it's one of my favourite games and I think it's one of the best games on the GameCube. And I do not mind that this game is a Zelda clone in the slightest. It's just a good game. Although I wish the game didn't have to be rushed because of Microsoft buying out Rareware and Nintendo not decided to buy Rareware instead, because that was a real missed opportunity. Nintendo should have bought Rareware. Anyway, it's the Mario Sunshine Strategy Guide. I picked this up at a convention. I'm going to say last year. It was really, really cheap. I think the person on the stall charged me about £10 for it. It came in this nice little sleeve and it's been well looked after. I think this could possibly be the American Strategy Guide, but I'm not entirely sure, but it's been very nice looked after. And Sunshine is one of those games that I always really struggle with because of all those bloody blue coins, and so many blue coins, it's just so hard to keep track of them. Here's the newer strategy guide. This one is for Jet Force Gemini, one of my favourite Rareware games. Fighting. It's actually for Nintendo Power. I've just noticed. Nintendo Power closed down a few years ago, but this is a really great guide. I really like it. One thing that bothered me about Jet Force Gemini was finding all the items, all the weapons, all the things that you need to beat the game. And this game is quite complex, but this strategy guide is really detailed in how you get everything, and it goes for everything step by step so that you will find everything, you will be ready for beating that final boss and saving the galaxy. It's been a long time since I played this game, but I played it through once all the way and I really enjoyed it. Just a really great game. So yeah, Jet Force Gemini. And here's my Metroid Prime strategy guide. I used this in a walkthrough a few years ago. It's a newer Bandai Games. It's a really great guide. When me and Adam were reading through it for the walkthrough, one of the things that he mentioned was it kind of treats you a bit like a baby or a bit like an idiot. It tells you things in such detail you kind of feel just a bit stupid, but it is a really good guide. It was really helpful when it was coming to making the walkthrough because we had to find all the power-ups and it was just a great guide. This is a new Nintendo Power one. This is the Nintendo Power Metroid Prime 2 Echoes guide. This actually has a few missing pages towards the back. The missing pages aren't really a big deal because they're mostly for the multiplayer and maybe some of the unlockables in the game. The main core guide is intact. But when I bought it off Amazon, there were some pages missing. And it was the it was because yeah, there's some missing pages, which is kind of annoying. But the man who sold me this actually refunded my money, so I felt better about that. And he told me to keep the guide because just as a consolation sort of thing. But yeah, overall good guide, works. Metroid Prime 2, very complicated game. I always struggle because of the light and dark world going back and forth. Pikmin 2. One of my favourite Pikmin games. All the different labyrinths and dungeons where you go underground, and the purple Pikmin. Just such a great game. This is a really nice guide. One thing I really like is how this guide's style a lot of the characters look like they're plasticine models. If you look carefully, the textured like plasticine model, I think that was a great choice. So yeah, it's a really useful guide. It was really helpful. Versus books. This is my only versus book strategy guide, but this is for Digimon World 3, and this is a strategy guide for completing the game. There are some bits missing in this strategy guide, which I thought was a little bit weird, but it did mostly what I wanted it to do. It helped me beat the main story, and it helped me just with that. I had to look up online for certain side quests, but for the bulk of the game, this strategy guide got me through it. And Digimon World 3 is quite a complicated Digimon game in the way that you have to evolve your Digimon and get, if you want, certain monsters. So I was very happy to have this strategy guide when it came to figuring out the evolution trees and all the maps, and so I wouldn't get lost. Yeah, just look at this spider diagram of chaos. Yeah. Confusing. Definitely confusing. That's why you need strategy guides, people, to figure out this confusing chaos of a game. Another Future Press. This is a Pokemon Platinum version. One of my favourite Pokemon games. I'm hoping we get a remake of Pokemon Platinum soon, because I would really like to go through that game again and see if it adds any more new stuff to it when we finally get Pokemon Pearl and Diamond remakes. So yeah, Pokemon games is one of my favourite franchises, so sometimes I needed help with certain games, and this was very useful. When I first started playing Final Fantasy, I used to really struggle, so I bought some strategy guides to help me with said games. Adam introduced me to Final Fantasy, and one of the first Final Fantasy games that I actually managed to finish was Final Fantasy 3 for the 3DS, which is one of my favourite Final Fantasy games because of all the different jobs and different classes you can give to your characters and stuff like that. So yeah, Final Fantasy games used to be really difficult for me, and the strategy guides just helped me learn to play them. This is the newer Branda games. This is Final Fantasy 7. This one is kind of yellow because I suppose the plastic or the glossy paper just gets old. It just turns yellow like old consoles. Got this at a convention, and if I ever play Final Fantasy 7 again, this thing is always there to help me get through certain bits of the game I struggle on. It's a really nicely laid out and helpful guide. Yeah, that's something I like to do. Play a game and just sit there and do it old school. You know, I turn the console on, put the laptop away, and just put the strategy guide next to me, and that's all I have to beat the game, the strategy guide. It's just really old school, no YouTube, just strategy guide. Okay, maybe I have my phone next to me just to check Facebook every now and again, but yeah. This is the Piggyback strategy guide. This is for Final Fantasy 9, another one of my favourite Final Fantasy games. Great game. Lots of great characters and such a good game. RPGs can be just really difficult when it comes to find all the stuff and keeping track of the story where you need to go. Right, next guide. This is another Piggyback. This is for Metal Gear Solid 4, Guns of the Patriots. Despite its somewhat linear, this is actually one of my favourite Metal Gear games. And also, towards the end of the game, I actually cried, because it was such a bittersweet ending. Yes, Snake had won the battle against Liquid Ocelot, and he had saved the world, but this was his last mission. We all knew he was going to die and just be gone. And the ending to Metal Gear Solid 4 just made me cry because, you know, he'd saved the world, but he was going to die. Okay, he could die happy that he knew he saved the world and was a good soldier, but yeah. Metal Gear Solid 4, I always feel emotional at the end of it because just Solid Snake is just such a great character, one of my favourites. And this guide was so helpful when it came to finding all the weapons and getting through the areas and all that good stuff. One that I would like to see Konami do is a Metal Gear Solid 4 HD remaster for the PlayStation 4. You know, just up-res it to like 1080p and that sort of thing. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Konami these days, considering what they've done in the past, but I would like to see a HD port of this on the PlayStation 4 in the very close future. So, yeah, because the PS3 is an absolute nightmare to record off because of all the bloody copy protection, if you've ever actually tried to do it. That's why you don't see many PS3 games on my channel. It's just such a pain with how the capture cards work and actually recording off the things. Here is a piggyback. This is for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, it's a good Metal Gear game. I enjoyed playing through it. This strategy guide was quite essential for me because the game has these huge open worlds, 2 of them in fact, and finding certain things in the open worlds was really difficult for me. Look at this huge map. And that's just for one of the missions. The open world in these games is absolutely huge, and when it came to keeping track of where I am in the game, yes, you get a map in the game, but this guide, it marks certain points saying, you know, the tanks will be here at this time, so you need to be here at this time so you can actually blow them up or steal one for yourself. You know, such a helpful guide. It is a shame that Konami meddled in Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain and caused it to be the game that was not quite finished in a lot of people's opinions, you know, the missing content and missions. But overall, considering the circumstances, we got a good game, just one that was unfinished, kind of like, I suppose, Ocarina of Time in that way. But yeah, this is a really helpful strategy guide, and I really like it. This is a good one. It's the strategy guide for Oracle of Age and Oracle of Seasons, and as you can see, this one is quite beat up. Yeah, I got this one off eBay, and it's quite beat up. Oh! Some of my notes, yeah, some passwords for the game, so you can unlock certain things in both games. And what I like about the strategy guide is it's for both games, and it's just really helpful. Although the way it's written is sometimes a little bit unfriendly to people with dyslexia, but other than that, good guide. And I just finished going through these for you. This is my strategy guide for Wind Waker. One of my favourite GameCube games, mostly because it's so explorative. It's another piggyback guide. I really like exploring the ocean. It's just one of my favourite Zelda games. The cell shaded style, all the different islands, and just such a great game. So yeah. Now on to the Twilight Princess guide. This is an official Nintendo Player's Guide. I used this in the Twilight Princess Let's Play several years ago. Well, about a few years ago, when I used to record games off a phone onto the TV. And I had fun making out Let's Play with Adam, and he was the strategy guide. So yeah, it's just a really useful guide. Really helpful. This is my strategy guide for Spirit Tracks. I got this at Huddersfield ManCon, same as the Sunshine Guide, the same day. Spirit Tracks is one of my favourite Zelda games. I really like trains, so I really like a Zelda game. Really good Zelda game. And yeah. And here's a hardback strategy that Premier made. They used to make these for like special games, and this is for Zelda Phantom Hourglass, which is one of my least favourite Zelda games, to be brutally honest. Just the way it controls and the way I had to keep going back to the Temple of the Ocean King. It's an okay game. It's like mediocre, kind of like it's just mediocre. If you want to play either one of these games, I would go for Spirit Tracks over Phantom Hourglass, just because Spirit Tracks is a lot more refined, a lot more friendly, a lot less tedious. Whereas Phantom Hourglass is just not as good. But yeah, its hardback copy wasn't helpful when it came to getting through the game. And there's one last one I want to show you. And that's this one. This came from fangamer.net. And this is the Pork Army Survival Guide. This is a fan-made strategy guide for Mother 3 or Earthbound 64 or Earthbound 2, whatever you want to call Mother 3. This is a fan-made strategy guide for it, and I really like this strategy guide. It's just really funny. I mean, some of the lines on the back. It teaches you about toys as weapons and weapons as toys and proper doorknobs usage. Yeah, this thing is funny. Frogs as ATMs. Yeah, so great guide put together by the Fangear people. It also came like a dust jacket and a poster, and it's done in that like clay model sort of style. It's just so great. Nice maps, nice artwork. Just so great. Anyway, YouTube, I hoped you enjoyed the look at my entire strategy guide collection. And all I want to say is, strategy guide companies, if you somehow end up watching this video, thank you. Thank you for helping us gamers through our troubles through certain games in our lives. And yeah, that's all I want to say. Anyway, YouTube, thank you for watching this video. Please like this video, comment and subscribe, and tell me about your strategy guide collection and your opinions on strategy guides. See you guys in the Code Veronica Let's Play.